not about growing food. It is about rethinking urban space and responding to climate change. And there is a project in Budapest who is already doing. Just next to the community space of Auróra in Budapest, there is a small garden with big ambitions. This is Klimakert, a community garden where climate change takes action.
This was a parking lot 6 years ago, and it was a gravel parking lot with a big, thick layer of rock dust, compressed rock dust under the gravel rocks. So we decided to try something different. Let's make the whole garden a unit. It will be stronger for nature, and everyone can participate, and everyone shares in whatever we do. So it's a common project.
It is starting a parking lot. Now, it's a young forest with ambition to change how we see urban spaces. With no budget and no traditional structure, the team got creative, using compost, waste, and local knowledge to build something new.
We took that whole idea and flipped it on its head and took it as a challenge and said, hey, what if we try to do something with no funds? What if we swear off money and only use the waste that we can find here in the city to build a garden? And that was the beginning of the idea of the climate garden.
There are no vegetables or flower beds in this place, just compost, more than 200 trees soaking carbon, cooling the air and building shade.
We should do a garden that does not concentrate on food, but that concentrates on the climate and the environment and those issues. A place where people who want to be gardening and want to be connected to nature can come, and they don't have to talk about food production. And that became the climate garden idea. And from what I saw online, the climate, these fruit forests, I was told that in 3 to 5 years, you could build a stable enough ecosystem that you would no longer need water. So this would be, unlike all of the community gardens in Budapest, or most of them, this would be a dry land project. So the rain that falls on this place is enough to keep it up.
The green patch located in a corner of Auróra Street supports long-term food security by rebuilding nature first.
So with this method, especially in the heart of Budapest, in downtown Budapest, we can create food, but more importantly, when we work to create nature, then anything can like there's a lot more food around that we didn't have to pay attention to and work on. We've discovered many ways to eat the stinging nettles that we have, because we have lots of stinging nettles. We also discovered that all these crappy, fast-growing mulberry trees, although they give us wonderful fruit, their leaves are very nutritious and very healthy. And apparently the UN even sends mulberry trees to places where there is drought and famine because you can eat the trees. And we started eating the trees. That's interesting. If you think about how limited a city person's biome is by what they can get in the supermarket, for me to be eating mulberry leaves and stinging nettles and other plants every week from the garden means that I get health from just finding something different here. And that was another important aspect of doing something like this in the city.
From upcycle irrigation system to composting and grey water reuse, Klimakert is full of small experiments with big lessons. Everything here shows how we can adapt together with what we already have.
We're working on a gray water cleaning system for them so that they can clean it. We can harvest their soapy water and it'll come into the garden cleanly. We are building a pond here, and it's going to be a very natural, interesting project because since we don't buy anything, we are using natural waste, which happens to be cat litter. Cat litter happens to be a kind of clay that you can seal a pond with. Part of our job is also coming up with programs, educational programs for the kids in the neighborhood, for the schools, for the neighbors, showing them how to make string out of stinging nettle or how to identify birds and plants and bugs and animals, how to turn the compost, how to do the composting process. We also do worm composting workshops.
This pocket forest is maintained by people, not gardeners, but artists, activists, migrants, and locals.
Just show up. That's the motto. You know, we realize that participation is just simply a willpower question, and dedication is the thing that makes a big difference. So we are here 2 times a week for 3 hours each time at least. Summer, spring, winter, fall. People now know that we're here, so they can rely on us to be open to help them answer any questions, give them compost, or just give them something to do. So that's the motto. Is just if you can show up, you're a member.
Klimakert shows us that fixing the climate doesn't begin with big rules. It starts in small places, like where little plants grow between bricks.
Right?